All right, we're over here at the Kennard farm. What we've got over here right now is we got Corky's horses over here. We got Romeo here. I forget how old he is. What do you smell, huh? What do you smell, buddy? But he's an appendix quarter horse. 16 and a half hands tall. Nice, gentle fella. Then we got Brownie here. He's a quarter horse. And he's a nice horse. Nice, gentle horse also. But she has two horses over here. What do you think? Huh? What do you think? Then we got a couple bucks over here. Now these bucks are bucks that we've raised. These are leased bucks. We lease these bucks out to different people. Come here. Yes, Corky just walked in the door and she feeds biscuits to him. We feed horse treats to him. They're waiting on those right now. Like I say, these are leased bucks that we lease out to different people. Both ones that we raised, and actually pretty nice bucks. And we got one that's going to Ottawa County here at the end of July, and then the one that's standing in the feeder, he's going down the road to Donald's this year, and Donald's going to breed with him. Let's say hi to the camera. You stink. This in here is one out of our number 2 doe. He's actually pretty cool. He was actually almost a runt, and we kept him separate from the other goats there for a while so we get some size on him, and then he wasn't really big enough to sell as a buck. So what we did is we kept him. His bloodline goes clear back to one of our very first goats we bought, Pretty Lady. He's a nice buck. But like I say, he's going down to Donald's this year, and he's going to breed down there. I think November, when we're going to take him down there. I get a lot of questions on how do you hold the camera? Do you do your own video? And a lot of that stuff. And the truth is, I do probably 90% of my videoing right now. Hello? I'm videoing.
Sorry.
It's alright. Well, I'm out in the middle of the cornfield. What do you need? My chainsaw?
Yeah.
I hadn't had that thing running in a long time, Corky, so I don't know. I can see if I can get it started. I don't have any gas. Just whatever's in there, probably. We'll see. Alright, love you. Bye. Well, that's how I talk on the phone. That was Corky. It's my father-in-law's birthday today, and they're over there cleaning up some stuff and just spending some time with him. And as soon as I get finished doing this, I'm going to go over there. Back to what I was saying, I do about 90% of my own video, and I've found different ways just through watching YouTube and talking to other people, different ways to hold the camera and different things to do, and I've kind of figured some things out, and I'm going to show you a few of them. Lots of times what I do is I will take my GoPro and I'll put it on a selfie stick and I'll put it in my shirt pocket. So with my phone in there, I take my GoPro like this and then put it in my shirt pocket like that. And that's a way I can walk around and I can video different things and such. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk around and I'll just show you a couple of my Manfrottos and a couple of my cameras. It's nothing special, but we'll walk around and we'll look at them. So we'll turn the GoPro on. put it in my shirt pocket. And we'll turn you around and turn you off. Go like that. All right, let's walk around a second. Well, at least now, guys, this is one thing that I do. I'll lose a shoe, or I'll walk off and forget one, and I think that's what I did now. That's all right. It's not muddy out here or anything. Manfrotto. I'm not sponsored at all by these guys. I talked to Wrangler Star, and in his tractor one day, I saw he had something like this right here, so I emailed him or commented or something. You know what this is? This is the Manfrotto Magic Arm, and clamps on right there, and it's got a good clamp, a good tight clamp. You can tighten the heck out of it right here, and I've got it pretty snug on that bumper right there. But what you do is you throw this over center, and then it all this becomes real loose. Now, I don't have it real super tight right now. I guess I could probably tighten that up. That would help. This is the first time I've used this. But it's a Manfrotto Magic Arm. You throw this over center, it loosens this point, this point, this point, and you can swivel them all around. You can put that thing lots of different directions. And like I say, this is the first time I've used it. We thought we'd try it and just see what happened with it. On top of it, I got a Yi 4K Plus camera. They're decent economic cameras. I came upon them, I think they're $190 or something like that. I've junked 2 of them now. And this is my latest one that I bought. And then down here on the side, I got a mini Manfrotto Magic Arm. It's fastened on the side of the seat. And it also has a Yi 4K Plus camera on it. This is the one, I don't remember if I showed you, but the whole screen's cracked back here on the back. Now, what happened was with that camera is that was the day we were filming the Day It Happened video. And we were over at my mom and dad's, and that thing was on a tripod and it fell over. And it landed on the carpet, but still it was enough to crack that screen. So it's got a cracked screen, and you can't change many of the settings on it, but it's still working, and I don't know, it's going to be one that we destroy somehow. We don't know for sure what we're going to do with it yet. The mini Manfrotto, I've used it in probably every one of my videos since I got it. When I was working on the power head on the auger there in that one video, it was fastened to the side of the bin. I fastened it up in my semi. All different places. I've used the mini one many times and really like it. I've been doing spot spraying. I got it's a 2013 Gator. It's either a 12 or a 13, I can't remember. But it's been a pretty good machine for me. But we've got a boom on the back of it and got it made so it just fits in the receiver hitch. It's on a little bit of a kilter, but it's all right. It still works just fine for doing what we do with it. But I got a 42 or 45 gallon tank in the back of it, and then of course my goodies right there that I need for spraying. A cheap freaking Amazon tripod. This was one of the first pieces that I bought, but the tripod works really well. I leave it on about where it's set right now, except for that center one in there. I use that almost every video also. I can just set it up in the back of my truck. I lift the seat up and I just leave it set up all the time in the back of my truck, and then whenever I want to use it, I just pull it out and I'll use it. And the camera on top of it is the Canon G7X. And that's like my second, that was my second camera I bought, I think. I think I bought that before the GoPro that I'm using now. The Canon G7X, pretty good camera. It's all right. Like if I'm driving along and I'm videoing with driving through the field with a Gator, there's too much stuff for it to focus on, and it gets real blurry and kind of fades in and out. So I'm not a real big fan of using it. Like, with the one I have over there on the seat, that watching the corn go by, that camera does a real good job on that. But this camera is awesome, like set up, standing in front of it talking, setting it up if I'm in one spot actually working on some things. It also does real well on the stabilization thing. It just, I don't know if it's my camera or if I have it on a setting that I don't know. You know, I turned it on and it worked, and we're good with that. Brian Brown from Brian's farming videos, he watched one of my videos there where we were cleaning out the bin and I had that Canon G7X in the bin with me. And he said right away, he's like, hey man, he said, that thing will get dust in it. He said, be careful with it around the bins. I said, well, it doesn't seem like it has any in it yet. Well, it does. It has dust in it. He was correct because he'd done it with his camera. That's just the way it is. So it has some dust in it. Haven't really seen it on my videos yet, but I don't know, maybe I'm not looking real super close, but it seems to keep on working. I have things that I can set up and put places. That's what takes so much longer when you're doing a video, is fastening these things on something, finding ways to fasten them on. The Mini Manfrotto, when I went to the elevator and cleaning out the bin harmless style with my truck, I had it fastened up on the tarp, the rail that the tarp rolls on, and it's flat and thin. So I had to find a piece of wood and put behind it and then clamp it to that. It doesn't like to clamp to thin pieces of metal real well. But it's just little things like that. That's what takes longer when you're making these videos for people like you guys watching. But it's become a hobby of mine and I enjoy doing it, and we're going to keep on making them and finding different ways to do things. But shirt pocket, always have shirt with shirt pocket. The camera that I'm actually running right now is the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I just bought another one of these because I keep eating these Yeezys up. I may as well have a camera like this that I've dropped probably 100 times and it's still fine. So I got another one and I haven't used it yet, but we're getting ready to start once I junk another Yee. So back to the Gator. This is a stripped down 825i, and bought this from dealer up the road there, and the only thing they put on it, they put the roof on it, and it had a windshield on it. Well, I was spraying crossbow one day and got a bunch of crossbow on my windshield, and it ruined my window. It fogged it, and you can't really tell, but it got the hood also, and the front end, it got sprayed. But anyway, this has been a rare, very good machine. It does not have the dump bed on it. It does dump, but it's a manual. I bought the stripped down model because I wanted to make sure I was going to like the Gator. I like the Gator pretty well. I don't like the transmission thing, and I don't like the parking brake, but I love the machine itself. It's been pretty good. We've got to try it out in the mud quite a bit here this spring when we were working on tiles and such. Now we're going to jump back on the Gator here, and we're going to turn some cameras back on and talk about this corn we're sitting in here a little bit. Don't know how this one's going to do in the sun. Yeah, they have protective covers, and that's what you're supposed to have on. Those E-cameras have protective covers, and that's what they're supposed to have on them for dusty conditions and wet conditions, but the audio is terrible if that is on there. Now I've taken the protective covers and I've bored holes in them and such like that right where the microphones are on the camera, and that does help quite a bit. But when you're out in the sun, like when we were side dressing the other day and I made a video, Dad, he put the camera at about 3 or 4 different places, and when it's inside that protective cover, it puts a glare on the lens, and it didn't work out worth a crap. So we couldn't show that. It's just another reason that the GoPro is better than the Yeez. But we'll turn the G7 on here and talk talk about this cornfield. I better look and see what the sun's doing to it. Might not be too bad. All right, we're going to turn the GoPro off. Down just a little bit. Phone out of my pocket. Alright, the corn we are sitting in is knee high. All of it is. Half this field was planted 5 days after the first part, because the part we're sitting in right now was in my video of planting before the flood, and I'm sitting in the part that was planted before the flood. And I think it was 5 days later we were back in here, I think, don't quote me on that, to finish the planting. And it all looks pretty good. It's side dressed. This is the field that we made the side dressing video in. And it's just now taking a hold of the 28. The 28 is the liquid fertilizer that we apply to the fields. And it's just now, the roots are just now getting to the 28. And if you look, I don't know how it's going to pick it up on the camera. Like if you look out across the field, like these rows I'm sitting in right now are a little shorter than some of these other rows. And the corn's just a little bit lighter green than some of the other rows. And what that is the corn's just now getting to the liquid fertilizer. The roots are. And this stuff's really starting to jump. In fact, I won't even be able to drive the Gator out here next week. It'll grow that fast. This corn has had, I think this corn's had 9 or 10 inches of rain on it since it was planted. Yeah, because the night of the flood, we got 3 inches here. So it's had right around 9 inches of rain on it since the flood. And this field can handle a lot of water, and it's doing very well. We do have a couple areas over there where they're kind of lower spots where water kind of stood. Kind of a little low spots here where the water did lay a little bit more than where it did on the other parts, but it's all coming really well. Just like even the shortest corn out here in the field is over knee high, and we're pretty happy about that. 5 weeks ago, last Thursday, this corn was planted. Like I said, at least 9 inches of rain on it since then. Planted wet. It was pretty wet when we planted this. Glad we've had the rain to get it going. Sure would be nice to have 2 weeks of days just like this. Almost a record for us, guys. We've gone 2 days now without rain. The dirt's about where we planted it, or the way it was when we planted this field. It's not soggy wet, but it's wet enough that if you run a cutter down through it and open it up, it doesn't close itself. We're not making tracks out here on it. Could be sprayed if we wanted to. Anything we wanted to do out here, we probably could do it if we needed to. But this corn's finished. It is, we won't be back in here with any machines until fall. Hopefully. But I really didn't have a lot for a video this week. Like I say, I did a lot of spraying fence rows. I did a lot of mowing. I got a lot of video on stuff like that, but it's not a real good video for you guys. We've been busy doing all kinds of different things. A lot of rain, winds, day, night. We had flooding around. We didn't, but the town north of us did. They got 3 inches of rain in like 20 minutes. And it came down. We were heading to Indian Lake. We have a small cottage at Indian Lake with my mom and dad, Corky and I do. And we were heading up there to see what the water looked like at the lake, because there was a lot of flooding up there. And that took up time also. When we were on our way up there, we were on 33 heading to the Indian Lake, and it rained so hard people were stopped along the road, and was hoping that we didn't get it here. And fortunately we got an inch here, but we didn't get that here. But it's actually looking pretty decent out here right now. We need to have some dry weather for this corn and our soybeans to root down. All in all, pretty happy with what we have here for how we've done it. We thank the Lord for what we have. We got in and got some done. It wasn't pretty when we did it, but we had the rains keep coming, and that saved us. So we're real happy with how things look right now. So guys, I'm getting off here. I'm going to go over to my father-in-law's house, celebrate a little bit for his birthday. My sister's birthday is also today. We're going to be going up to mom and dad's tomorrow for her birthday to celebrate it. So I want to say happy birthday to Cork Wallace, and happy birthday to Kathy Detweiler, my sister. And after that, I'm going to put this video together, and hopefully you'll have it in the morning. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching my show. Sure enough, pull in my driveway and look what I find. The lone shoe.